I want to direct your attention to Exhibit 1. It's been previously admitted, our plaintiff's Exhibit 1. And specifically to the 4th page.
Okay.
The first entry at the top of the page, just to make sure we're on the same page, it says that ice you drank. Are you on that page?
What's the time?
So at the top it says 8:16 a.m.
Okay, I'm on that page.
And then the first entry starts that ice you drank. You see that?
I'm on that page.
Okay, perfect. My clients previously testified and authenticated this was a text conversation between you and.
Your Honor, may I respond?
One moment.
And
What's the question first? Go ahead.
so the third statement on that page that's in the lighter gray, right? It says the baby didn't even want you to hold him because he knows white people are evil.
Your Honor, can I object?
On what basis?
Well, these were already presented and the court already admonished me for them, and I did apologize already. I mean, we already dealt with this
That doesn't mean that
matter.
there can't be evidence in this hearing.
Okay.
So you can object, but no, that's why I admitted the evidence over your objection, because the court may have already admonished you, but it's still something that can be considered in terms of all of the evidence over custody.
Sure.
Do you think white people are evil?
No.
Okay. If you read further down, you said, speaking about the child, you said he's black, his family is black, and he's going to grow up knowing he's black. He's never going to like you, LMAO. You see that?
Yep.
Your baby's biracial, correct?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. And only half of his family is black, correct?
I don't know. I don't know his dad's side of the family.
Okay, but you've met some of them, right? I mean, his mom and his aunt were here today.
I don't know. I've only met 2 people. That's
Okay.
it.
All right, but when you say his family is black, you were talking about your family, right?
I honestly, I don't know who's on his dad's side of the family. It can be anyone.
If you skip forward, so from there, go 1, 2, 3 more pages. The time at the top is 8:23 a.m. And the first message starts ba-ha-ha. Do you see that?
I'm on that page. Mhm.
Okay. And again, this is you texting Nick, and you say, "Bah-ha-ha, and you're going to have a lonely, miserable Father's Day. You have no recent photos of Julian to post." Why didn't he have any recent photos of Julian to post?
Objection, Your Honor. The context. I mean, where's the previous messages to this?
Ma'am, you can testify to that. Just answer the question.
Why didn't he have any recent photos of Julian to
I
post?
don't know.
Was it because you weren't allowing him to see the child?
I don't know why he didn't.
Okay. If you skip 2 more pages, top of the page says 8:26 a.m. First entry starts, "Really hope you lose." See that?
I'm on that page.
Right. And on the second entry there, you write to Nick, "Also take off that you're Julian's father because you're not, you're just a sperm donor. And all your friends are about to know how pathetic you are to abandon your own child because I'm going to message them who you really are." You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Do you regard Nick as just a sperm donor?
No.
And then I want to skip 2 more pages though to the last page of this exhibit. And I asked your mother about this, and then you actually brought it up in your statement that she was texting with Nick. So to your knowledge, was your mom texting Nick on occasion?
This was honestly,
I'm not asking you about this one specifically,
No.
but you mentioned it. So.
On May 21st. This I've never seen.
Okay.
This isn't my, I don't know what this is. But on May 21st, she did have a conversation with him through text message. It wasn't this, because this wasn't May 21st.
Okay, so when she said she might have texted with him a long time ago to your knowledge, she was texting him something in May of 2018?
I don't know.
Okay. What do you do for a living right now?
I'm a full-time student and I work part-time.
Full-time student studying what?
Political science.
And how close are you to graduating?
Objection relevance?
What is the relevance?
Your Honor, there's been a lot of conversation today about what my client did or didn't pay for, what he was willing to pay for, and a lot of disparagement of my client's profession as a professional poker player. And I think it's fair for the court to understand what her
Okay,
her view of
what she's studying probably doesn't matter, but that she's
Sure.
a part-time student.
but her date of graduation and what she intends to do after that point, I think are relevant.
Okay, that might go towards child support.
Okay, so what is your anticipated date of graduation?
It's going to be December of 2019, next month.
Okay. What kind of degree are you going to graduate with?
Regardless, I mean, objection relevance, that has
It's
nothing to do with what
relevant.
I mean, is it a
what I
It's-
do now.
It's relevant to potentially your ability to earn more in the future,
Okay,
so there's some relevance.
okay. What was
So
your question?
will you get a
what sort of
political
degree
science
do you
degree, a
expect to
Bachelor of
obtain?
Arts degree? That's what he was asking.
Is it
Okay,
an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree?
it's a bachelor's.
Okay. And what are you said right now you're a full-time student, and you said you're working part-time,
Mhm.
doing what?
I work in a restaurant.
Okay, what is your position?
I serve,
Okay.
but objection
Okay.
relevance,
So do you
Again, it goes to child support,
do you intend,
overruled.
after you obtain your degree next month, do you intend to continue working as a server part-time, or?
I don't know.
Okay. When you say part-time, how many hours a week is that?
It ranges anywhere from 20 to maybe 25.
What is your relationship with Steve Sampson?
He's my friend.
Okay. When did you meet him?
Objection relevance.
What's the relevance of her friendship with Mr. Sampson?
Well, she went on his radio show and talked a lot about my client.
Objection hearsay.
So,
No, if you talked about him, it would not be hearsay, it would be a party opponent. The question is, did you listen to the radio show and know that it was her?
oh, she was introduced, yeah, I mean, it's actually on video, it's on
Right,
his,
so what's the point?
I'm just trying to figure out
Okay,
whether,
well, her relationship with him is probably not relevant. What she may have said on the show with regard to this case may or may not be relevant.
how about this, do you acknowledge that you went on Steve Sampson's Veteran in Politics radio show and talked about this case?
What are you referencing? Which date?
Have you ever appeared on Steve Sampson's Veteran in Politics radio show?
Objection relevance? I mean, I can appear on
I-
the show.
I already indicated there may be some relevance if you appeared and talked about the case, depending on what you said. So his first question is, have you done that? Yes or no?
I've been on his show.
Okay. And did you talk about this case on that show?
I talked about my relationship with the plaintiff. I spoke about a previous experience with a previous judge. I didn't reference the case number, I didn't reference the case name or anything like that.
But you did mention my client's name, correct?
No, nope, not at all.
Okay. But you said you were speaking about your relationship with, you admit that you were at least speaking about your relationship with
Objection
Mr. Bell?
relevance.
Ma'am, I've already answered that 3 times now. Objecting the 4th time isn't going to make any difference. I said that he could inquire into it.
Okay.
So there's some relevance. So you need to answer the question.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Well, I'm repeating what you just told me. You said that you spoke about your relationship with the plaintiff, right?
I don't remember.
And you admitted on that show that,
Now she says she doesn't remember, so if she doesn't remember,
okay. Your Honor, I think just in the interest of everyone's time, this is probably,
you won't be able to wrap up by 5:30.
by 5:30? Oh,
Mhm.
I promised the court 15 minutes, and that was 20 minutes ago.
No, I'll give
So,
you to 5:30 because
okay,
there's some leeway to go
Got
to
it.
5:30. Beyond that, it becomes much more difficult from a logistical point of view.
all right. When Julian was an infant, you co-slept with him, correct?
I don't remember.
In the interest of time, Your Honor, I'm gonna ask that the court take judicial notice of the video recordings of the first 3 hearings in this case, wherein the
Is it your
defendant,
representation that at those hearings, she personally made a representation to the court or testified that she was co-sleeping?
and was admonished against doing so,
Well,
and,
what she was admonished
yes,
is not my question.
yes, that she
If you wish
She
me
made
to
that-
listen to
she
a
made that
hearing
admission.
to see if she actually made such a statement, then I will listen for that limited purpose only.
No.
And I would ask that if you believe that to be true, you supply me with the dates and the video area. You don't have to do that now, you can do that subsequently
Perfect.
before the next court date.
I have the register of actions somewhere. It would be,
You don't have to do it now.
okay, fine. Does Julian currently have medical insurance coverage of any kind?
No.
No Medicaid, no
No, my answer was no.
He has no medical insurance of any kind?
No.
Okay.
I already answered the question.
So when you take him to, you've submitted some medical records, when you've taken him to the doctor, do you pay cash?
They don't ask me for it because it's the emergency room. They don't ask me for anything. They just ask his name, his date of birth.
So he just gets free,
And
free
medical
treatment?
bills, bills will be sent, is what they say. So I'm yet to wait for those.
Did he have insurance back in December of 2018?
I don't remember.
Did you ever get a bill from this December 2018?
I don't remember.
You said that he's been to the doctor as recently as just earlier this month, correct?
He's been to an ER.
Okay. Did you notify the plaintiff that he was going to the ER or had been to the ER?
I don't remember.
Okay. I mean, is it in the talking parent records? Did you let him know?
I
In there?
mean, when you submitted these records before he went to the doctor.
Okay. Well, I mean, it was
I
just,
don't know.
you said it was just a week ago, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you recall, do you remember
She's
sending?
answered the question.
Okay. I have no further questions, Chairman.
Okay. So now we can do what's called redirect, which simply means if you'd like to clarify any point that he made on cross-examination, you may do so.
No redirect, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay. That will conclude then your witnesses, am I correct?
Yep.
You step down, and you can get your certificate that you say you have with you today. If you show that to opposing counsel.
Okay.
Okay, and if the marshal would make a copy,
I have copies if you want to have them.
that's fine. And do you have two there?
I have 2 copies.
All right, so if you give one to Mr. Lytle.
And then, Your Honor, I've yet to receive a copy of their certificate.
Well, just, if I can put Mr. Rosello back on the stand for 2 minutes, I can have him authenticate, it's in our exhibits today, I can have him authenticate that.
That's fine.
And that can be admitted as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
So the record reflects the parenting project was completed on August 13th, 2019. So the copy will be marked as defendants next to in order and admitted.
Must I be sworn again?
No,
No,
you're already
you're-
sworn in,
you're
sir.
Still under oath. If you would, just look at plaintiff's exhibit 4, please.
Your Honor, can I object to this?
We'll let him just identify it first and then we'll find out. Okay, go ahead.
Can you identify exhibit 4?
I can.
What is it?
This is my certificate from completing baby care class in the fall of 2018.
What's the date on it?
It's a photograph of the certificate, is it
What's the
not?
date on it?
Yes, it's a photograph.
And what's the date of
The date is December 1, 2018.
Okay, and is this the same photograph that you presented to Judge
Objection, it hasn't
Markey?
been admitted.
He's laying the
Is
foundation.
this the same photograph that you presented to Judge Markey as proof of your completion in open court?
Yes.
I asked
Now,
that
what's your objection to
exhibit
its
4 be
admission?
admitted.
It's a picture, it's not the actual certificate.
Well, yours is a photocopy and it looks like the actual certificate, so there's nothing about it that would indicate to me that somehow it's been concocted or manufactured or something of that nature. It looks just like yours. So it's just a photograph instead of a photocopy. So your objection is overruled. And exhibit 4, is it? Proposed exhibit 4 is now admitted.
I don't have any further rebuttal questions for him.
All right, so.
May I go back?
You may go back, yes, you may, sir. So, Ms. Sangalaza, do you have your card with the CPS case number that you believe applies?
So I've got the referral number, this was written by the doctor, and this is what he gave me. And then I have the card that the CPS lady gave, she gave me her card, so.
So the doctor gave you a referral number to CPS?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think I have the card with me, but I can file
So this is what I would like you to do. I would like you to make a photocopy of the card and email it to the department law clerk.
Okay,
And I want you to CC that email to Mr. Lytle.
okay,
The department law clerk will get it to me, and you have till 10 a.m. on Monday to do that.
okay.
Okay?
What is the email for the department law clerk? I mean, I don't know which clerk it's going to.
I think it's just the department.
Just the Q law clerk.
Yeah, it's just Department Q law clerk. At clarkcountycourts.net, I think, but,
US.
or .us.
County courts with an S, then .us.
Is that what it is? So,
You said 10 a.m.
yes, but exactly what is the email so she knows?
Oh, Department QLC.
All right, so it's department fully spelled out?
DEPT.
Right.
Q
DEPTQ
LC.
LC at clarkcountycourts.us. Okay?
Okay, and then what's Mr. Lytle's email?
I assume that you've received that in the past from communications, but Mr. Lytle will
I
give
will
it to
give her
you.
another card.
No, I don't need a card, just the email to confirm that I,
No, he
he's
can
gonna
give you the
receive it.
cards, because it's got the email on it.
Okay,
That's why he wants to make sure. So I note that the card was given to her,
okay,
and
so
that's
this
got
is
the
mine. I have this email.
Okay.
Okay,
I just wanted to confirm.
to make it, that it was the same email
Right.
you've had previously, that's fine. All right, so when we come back, I will have read those documents that I didn't have time to read today, since you both want me to read more in depth the documents. And I will, in the interim, ask CPS, based upon the information you supply, what, if anything, they have under that event number, and for them to supply the records to me. Then those records are not given to the parties, but
Right.
both parties can review them, and then they're filed as a left side filing, again, so it's not part of the public record, but it is part of the court record, okay? CPS filings are never part of the public record. So, in terms of finding a time period for coming back to court, I can do it on the morning of December 18th or the morning of December 19th.
Check my calendar very quickly here.
Because we need to give enough time at least for CPS to be notified and get some response.
I'm out of town on the 18th. I would be available on the 19th.
Okay? Are you available on the 19th, ma'am, in the morning?
That's the week of my graduation, so I don't know how I'd be able to handle it, between,
I can go into January, but that's, in other words, the 19th is the last date that's available before the end of the year. I can go to January 6th.
We're fine with January on our side.
let's go on
actually.
December 19th, I'll have to make it.
All right, I'm just letting you know. So December the 19th. And it is, Mr. Lytle, I would prefer to do it at 10 a.m. because we have to find a courtroom for me to use. So I don't know what courtroom it'll be in.
Okay.
Does that still work with you, or do you have 10 or 11 o'clock appearances?
I'm
You're
free that whole morning, so.
Alright, so I'll make it 10 a.m. There'll be no additional testimony. I'll simply have the CPS records. And then, if I get them early enough where I have read them, I will be prepared to render an oral decision that day. If I don't get them early enough, then you may have to wait. Because
I
I'll
would-
have them.
I would like the opportunity to submit closing, even if it's in writing.
You can both do that if you'd like to submit a 7-page closing statement that summarizes the evidence and why you think that evidence supports your point of view. Actually, I'll even make it 10 pages.
Thank you.
Each of you should have that document done by December the 13th.
Perfect.
Okay?
Submitted, like filed and served on the other party.
Yes.
December, sorry, what date?
December 13th, because I'll have to have read it before the 19th. So.
Okay, is there, this is hard, I'm sorry, it's just that's the week of my finals.
So that's why, if you would prefer to go to January 6th, so that you're past your finals for all of this, and I'm okay with that. You just kind of have to decide. I can't. Just from any complaint from November 18th forward, I don't believe there's any others.
Let's stay with December. I don't wanna postpone.
Okay. All right, the department will find a courtroom and they'll notify you where the proceedings will be, all right?
Perfect.
All right, so we'll be in recess and you all have a pleasant Thanksgiving.
Thank you, you as well.